I am Philolitea, and I am going to read for you a little bit. Going to try to speed run this, so it's probably not going to get the same lingering sort of, how I read as all of my stuff, because I have other things to do, and I lost an hour of my day today in an embarrassing but awesome way. And it wouldn't even be a big deal, except today is National. And I really want to spend money on the movie that I'm going to go watch. So I'm gonna go spend my $5 or whatever. And I would like it, I would very much like it, if this could pay for that. But because I know that you guys are idiots like I am, I'm a huge idiot. I love arcade games. You're idiots. You don't know that you love arcade games. So I've been playing arcade war games all day today. It's been a great day for me. I've had much fun. Sitting like this is putting stress on my groin injury and it hurts. Yeah, idiot squad. I'll figure it out. We are going to read from my Patreon today. Going to bring some more Rob into your lives. I have an hour. The movie starts at like 9:30, 9:10, something like that. 9 o'clock. So I would like to be at it by 9:15, which means I got to leave the tent at quarter after, or quarter till. Which means I have an hour and 10 minutes, or I'm going to miss this movie. And that's going to bum me out a little bit. It's a new notification. I can't just ignore notifications. I'm sorry. Because she liked it, Rach made it much easier for me to get to this. All right, I originally posted this to the Patreon on July 21st, 2024, but that is absolutely not what I originally wrote this. I wrote this originally in 2021, this piece that I'm composing right here. Now that I'm reading. All right, we begin. I wrote this. Episode 2, Giorgio Il Grifone. Standing in my door is a tall, well-built man. I know him by his silhouette alone, though he says nothing. Welcome, Giorgio, I say, trying not to let the sigh in my voice be heard. Hey, Rob. Hey, Rob. It's going to be difficult for me to do his voice, but I'll do my best. His voice is more trepidatious than I think I've ever heard it. Giorgio is maybe the most confident person we've ever met. Not more confident than Adalbert. Well, I prefer to forget about Adalbert. I don't think that's going to be possible. Are you busy? You mind if I come in? I laugh, suddenly in good cheer. When am I ever busy, O Grifone? Come on in. As he makes his way across the room, I light the other candle and prepare to replace the first. When he sits down, I ask, what brings you by? And it's the first days of summer, Giorgio Grifone, as his friends and enemies and frenemies alike call him, is not a beautiful man. Only a few years my senior, his features are plain rather than striking. His eyes are dull but intelligent. But his presence is that of a noble. Today, his bearing is that of someone nervous. Anxious is probably a better word. If I didn't know him, I might think he's terrified of me. Yes, year of our Lord 900, I say. You going to join the festivities? I'd been rolling a moog. I look up from my work and across the desk at him. In the dark, the only light, that of the twin flickering candles. I can't read his expression. Should I be? I ask. I might have known you'd say something like that. Will I be missing something? A good time? He laughs, but it isn't his laugh. I can tell he's perplexed. He does not understand you. It doesn't matter. He can't. More like a dagger in my back. I said this in an attempt to lighten the mood. After it was out of my mouth, it didn't feel like a joke anymore. It felt like the truth. Oh, come on. Genova is not that kind of city, and you know it. People are murdered all the time. All right, but suddenly, with a hiss and the stink of sulfur, I'm holding a drag. Suspended between my fingertips, I hold it to the moog, puff it, get it lit, and pass it to him. Ah, thank you. He takes a deep pull on it. The kind of pull where even if you aren't aware of it consciously, your body knows that you need to chill the fuck out, bro. Then he looks down at it like he might pass it back. You know, I should probably feel something about smoking this. Francis sure as shit would never feel that way. Don't worry about it. It's what you pay me for. That's the thing. I don't pay you anything. I shrug. It can't be easy to get. What are you fishing for? Oh, all right. Really, though? This is what you spend all your money on. Don't you know? Don't know if I would share. That's what it's for. Enjoy it. Maybe I will. He didn't need to know about the opium in my cheek. It's hot. Not in here. Well, in here too, I guess, but it's hot. I don't remember it ever being this hot. Millennials say that the end is nigh. The end is always nigh. But you're not wrong. It's hot. You don't think it's a good thing? It's good for some, sure. But the bitching will start as soon as Count DiMaggio ends. Bitching. He chuckles weakly. It is good for farmers, is it not? Good for armies, too. Ah, then you see war on the horizon. War is always on the horizon. The last 200-300 years since Rome, I don't want to talk about Rome. I know, I'm just the saying. All anyone's known since then is a hardship, war, death. The winter's too long, crops failing. And the Vikings. Did you come here to talk politics? He was grumping me out. After Francis, the last thing I wanted to talk about was more politics. Regardless of whether Giorgio was a politician and disregarded that I knew it, or otherwise. No, it doesn't feel different to you. Every day feels the same as the last. Miserable. He examines his moog as though it might contain the secrets of the universe, or be the cause of the thought he's having. That's a shame, I think. Think what you like. I'm trying to smile at him, but I can't help but hear that everything I'm saying is decidedly negative. Change is coming, Robert Longshore. Maybe the gods have decided they've had enough of people like you, so they're going to scrap the whole human people thing. People like me, the nobility. But, hey, if it turns out to be your Christian god, at least he didn't break his promise. Maybe he or one of his lesser cohorts has decided to roast the world alive on a brazen bull. A brazen bull? Yeah, a mythical torture device. Person is forced into the belly of a bull made of bronze. A fire is lit beneath. Horror ensues. I see. Do you really think that? Don't look to me for comfort for your soul. I don't make my living lying to you and your kind. I'll never tell you that any sort of righteous God would allow your soul to pass to any sort of pleasant afterlife. Go to Santa Maria if that's what you want. There's a priest there. He can't be nearly as expensive as one in a larger diocese. What if you're not wrong? I hadn't expected to hear that out of his mouth. Come to think of it, has anyone ever said that to you? He must have noticed my reaction. They haven't, have they? If the millennial prophets are wrong, I correct him, then they're 100 years early. Yeah, but does anyone know when Jesus actually lived? A millennium, a century. It's been a damn long time. You'd think if he were going to come back now, you'd think if he were coming back now, there's a big difference between 100 and 1,000. He knows that. He means people don't know what words mean. They don't. No one even knows if he lived. Are you denying your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? I can't tell whether Giorgio is being playful or accusing me of blasphemy. The only thing we can know for certain is that we can know nothing for certain. Aristotle, right. You talk about him all the time. Socrates, Plato, really. You Christians really love getting those three mixed up. Not all of us can afford to spend our time reading all the books, sorcerer. There it is again, sorcerer. My skin tingled. Don't call me that. It's how rumors get started. Rumors? Giorgio laughs. My friend, your sorcery would be the least interesting of the rumors I've heard about you. I'm rolling another smoke. You got plans, then, keeping you from Calendamaggio. Another drag hisses a flame to life. My plan for today is the same as tomorrow, as every day since you've known me. To sit in the dark and smoke off your face. Alone. Got it. And your wife? You'll have to ask her for yourself. Regina? Don't do that. You didn't come here to pry into my life. What do you actually want? Didn't I? How many times have I sat in this terrible chair and talked to you? Talked. Smoked your, what do you call it, dumbaran, talking your ear off. Is there a myth about that? So story keeper. Is there a God with no ears who can't hear the prayers of his people because they've prayed him deaf? Or mad from all the talking? Is that not what the Christian God is? Always me talking, and you sit there and you say your pity sayings and you ask your witty sounding questions. And maybe I am just that boring to you. Maybe you really do have all the answers. Who is he trying to convince? Me or him? That's what they say about you. That's what my father thinks. My father thinks you're magic, like the old magic, like from the Bible and stuff. He says that if you are not, that the others, the rest of the council, the others believe that you are. Your father is also a rich man who puts himself above and before all others. Yes, I am very well aware. He stops, putting the moog to his lips and taking the last drag. Careful not to burn our fingers on the remaining ember, we trade Mugen across the desk. I stamp the dead one out in the dish with its kin. I leave it, a tilted monument among the ashes and corpse tombstones. What is magic? What is it really? I consider him a moment while I roll another moog. It's never fun to disillusion someone. Not like I'm going to change how he feels about anything but you. Magic is a lie. Magic is wanting something so badly you lie yourself into believing you made it happen. Magic is a system of systems for teaching yourself to tell and believe the biggest lie of all, that you have any impact on the world. Then the magic is also a dream, a wish. Dreams come true. Wishes are granted. People, individuals do change the world, but not because they wished hard enough. If you really think about it, I think magic is real. The lie is the lie. If you really think of it, nothing is real and everything is a lie, I counter. But if nothing is real and everything is a lie, then what does it matter if magic is real? Why is it wrong to believe that you have some measure of control of your imaginary world, your make-believe self? It's not. It's human nature. I shrug. Then that's all there is. What's the point? The truth. The truth. It shall set you free. Yeah? He laughs. Free from what? Suffering, life, ignorance. I don't think those are in the right order. I don't think it matters. It does if you're writing a book. He smiles at me, teasing but genuine. Have to get your principles in order if you want to be like those guys you talk about all the time. Your philosophers, your Buddha. When I don't react, he pushes a little sigh out of his nostrils. Do you think you could get so high that you were casting spells by accident? No, because you have to write spells. That's not what he means. I don't know, Giorgio. I've never thought about it. I didn't and hadn't. What is it you always say that the Buddha guy said about the root to suffering? It's Buddha and you know it. You just said it. He quirks an eyebrow in the corresponding corner of his mouth at me. The first noble truth is that life is suffering, the root of all suffering, and he says that it's desire. Desire is the root of all suffering. That's what the wish is, right? A dream? Your desire? Your heart's desire? I nod. Yes. Wanting things, anything, leads only to suffering. Getting the thing is never enough. When want is worried after, then you really don't. Don't what? You really don't do this for yourself. If what you're saying is true, you don't even want your success, your riches, the loves of at least 2 women. And who knows how many more before you came here. Yet you desire none of it. He pauses, looks into the one of the candles, then back at me. Did you? I nod. And now you have it. Isn't that magic? If I didn't know that it was my choices that gave me opportunity to see my desires become my Gordian knot, I might agree with you. But it was no spell. There was no ritual. There was no chance. There was chance and choice and many, many people who helped me along the way and whom I helped to earn theirs. Is that like some kind of food? Do you mean like you're like a pretzel? Pretzels are good shit. What? Oh, you mean the Gordian knot? Does he only listen to the first thing I say? Why do I bother saying anything? No, I mean, it's a long story. Actually, for folklore, it's a pretty damn short story. Basically, there was a town in the east. An oracle said that the next person to drive into town on an ox cart would be their king. The next man to drive into town with an ox cart, the city made king. That driver's son, you might have heard of him. His name was Midas. Dedicating the cart to the god the Greeks knew as Zeus, Midas tied it to a post with an elaborate knot, a knot that no one could untie. Did anyone ever untie it? Strictly speaking, no. Later, when that city was a satrapy of Persia, another oracle declared that anyone who could untie the knot would be the king of all Asia. And Alexander cut it with his sword. I see. Do you believe the story? Literally, no. It wasn't the gods or the cosmos opening up, or whatever you want to call it. Nothing responded to my will. Doesn't seem like you're talking to me anymore. More like you're arguing with one of those quips you're always saying. The eyes to see and the ears to hear. No, I almost went a whole conversation without thinking of him. It's been 7 years, Rob. You'll find anything if you look closely enough, I finally say. Even the truth. When I say nothing, he suddenly switches conversations on me. What do you think of that? Of what? My father, what he thinks of you. He looks at me hard for a moment. His eyes are conflicted. What? Just say it. My father wants me to, I don't know, take you under my employ, to keep you close to the console, to keep me off the console, he means. Yes. You think I want a spot? You think I want a spot on the console? I do, but every man in Genova does. I wonder. I, however, do not wish to make me your pet wizard. He winces. You're not the wizard. You have never been false in your dealing with anyone, as far as I can tell. And you've looked. You're vetting me then. Have you come with an offer, or are you prospecting? I don't know. Giorgio's face is as conflicted as his voice. It felt. I wanted to talk to you, okay? I wanted to talk to you today. I wanted to warn you. You've caught father's attention. What should I know that you think I don't? My father is a secretive man, he sighs. Have you ever heard of an order that called themselves the Scoleo Demiurgoi? I blinked, slowly. On the inside, I'm on the verge of a screaming panic. I'm not sure whether they still exist or if they ever really did. My father thinks they did, and he is patient. He says they have a plan, that they use to organize the whole world until, well, you don't want to talk about Rome. Genova is growing restless, Rob. I think that you, of all people, must know that better than anyone. Following your course to Genova is not an happy one. It is not only the consuls and their hopeful rivals who remember the prosperity before the fall of Rome. Yes, everything goes back to Rome with you. Genova was burned to the ground by the Vandals, yes. Or was it the Goths? Visigoths? Ostrogoths? New wave? Hard to keep your Goths straight. You're trying to be funny. I am being serious. You're telling me that your father believes in an occult cabal of Illuminati that control the world. But look at the world. If this is under control, then there really is no help. Then you have heard of them. I see. Then he is wrong. You are not one of their agents. I nearly swallowed my tongue. I'm not. Not anymore. Then what are you, Robert Longshore? Is that even your real name? I'm just a human, no different than you. You are plenty different from me, friend. Be honest with me, Zorsora. If I offered you a place at my side, would you take it? No, no hesitation. Even if I told you I could connect you to an older world of knowledge than that in which you currently reside. You don't know in which world I currently reside. I've read the old wisdom. I have connections in the East. Not everyone is a target of the Saracens, and besides, yes, Francis, I don't want to talk about this anymore. What do you want to talk about then? I hand him another drag and moog. I've lost track of how many we've smoked by now. He lights it, and, exhaling, asks, do you think about good and evil? You know I do. I know you have these books, but I can't know what you think about. Fair enough. Plato said not what Plato thinks. What do you think? I don't think evil exists. He chuckles. But that's silly. Of course evil exists. Does it? You can't hold it in your hand. Well, no, but... And does the evil man think he is evil? Or does he think that he's doing what's necessary? Was Julius Caesar evil when he and his soldiers raped and pillaged their way through the Germanic tribes? Was Charlemagne evil when he Christianized the Franks and Saxons at all? I'm not sure what you mean, sorcerer. Caesar's men profited. The Roman people benefited. His actions weren't evil. Do you think the people they killed, the lands they salted, believed the Romans were good? Evil, friend, is in the eye of the beholder. You just called me friend. I glare at him. All right, yeah, but there are people who are objectively evil. Are they evil, or are they selfish? He pauses. Explain. Imagine a man whose greatest joy is taking life. When the wolf kills the rabbit and its loved ones do not name the wolf as evil. The wolf is hungry. The rabbit became food. Is a man who hungers for human lives evil, or is he a wolf in men's clothing? He's evil. Then a soldier who enjoys killing is an evil man? His killing benefits his king and his country. For them, he is good, a tool serving its function. Under the correct command, you might even say in skilled hands. He looks into his lap. What of me, then? Am I evil? I say nothing. If an evil man is not evil, but is selfish. He looks down, then away. For a moment, I wonder what he's thinking, whether I've gotten through to him. Then he looks at me. Is the wolf selfish that he has his fangs? Am I selfish that I have my father's wealth? That I was born to power? Am I selfish for wanting to use it? I look at him a long while. There's a lot to say and no way to really satisfactorily answer his questions. I try anyway. The wolf is not sorry. Are you selfish? I would never call you selfish. Aristotle said that a man is not his profession, he is his habits. He is what he does. Things are what and how they are. There is no reason. There is no good, no evil, justice, honor, order. These are words. Nothing more. If you want my advice, but people believe in them. They share their lives with them. People share their lives around fairy tales and lore, too. People believe in plenty of things that aren't real. You know, sometimes I wonder whether there isn't some truth to those old stories. I've got to say, I didn't expect you to be skeptical of the church shit. I've heard the stories. None of them happened here in Genova. Why didn't my people spawn the Christ, you know? Were their gods false? How could they be so foolish to worship false gods? They're all false. He laughs. No, no way. Too many people believe. Look at the Muslims, friend. Their kingdoms grow in wealth and power, but already the holes, the cognitive dissonance, the space between what the word says and how the elite. Christendom is no different. Like father, like son. The line of Abraham is doomed to repeat his sins. Then what is the answer? What is the question? I am a member of the council. That is not a question. He sighs hard through his nose, looks at his moog, at me. The conflict in him between his heart and his mind, you might say, is written all over his face. I wish I could help him. Then do it. Tell him what he wants to hear. That what he's doing is already what he should be? How could I lie to him like that? It's not a lie if you believe it. How do I be good? That's what you were put here to find out, don't you think? That is a shitty answer, Robert. He laughs. Then, I am finding out. I'm asking a wizard friend. A friend I've helped make among the wealthiest men in Genova. I don't have an answer for you. I don't even know why I'm alive. I see, I and the consuls am aware of your dealings with Francis and his dealings with the Muslims. I nearly tripped over him on my way here. I hid myself, don't worry. He didn't see me. If he did, well, and everyone who knows why someone would come to this part of town, it is not to visit the synagogue or enjoy some halal. But Francis and Regina cannot offer you the power, the prestige, the guaranteed capture and subsequent execution that I can. Giorgio, I do not want either power nor prestige. You are not the only person who needs me. Need, that is an ugly word. Am I to abandon this life that was am I to abandon this life that was given to me, my responsibilities, and be as you? I would never recommend that anyone be as I am. Then what? I give my wealth to the poor so that I am likewise poor and powerless? Do what you want. I shrug. What difference does it make in the end? What do you want then, huh? You want to sit here in the dark, reading your old books and wasting your breath, wasting what's been given, what you've been given? You don't even read them. How many of them have you read? All the way through. He takes a breath and smiles. I'm not sure that was meant for you. Forgive me, friend. I should go. Change is come to Genova, and I mean to carpe diem. He stands, then looks down at me. You are a valuable resource to a man like me. I could convince you. Others will try, but you are not for me, I think. You have influenced me, whether you like it or not. Perhaps I use my power to enrich all of Genova, huh? All of Italy. Will you be proud of me then, sorcerer? My opinion of you matters for nothing. Do something you can be proud of, that your children can be happy to continue for you. That is a good life. Giorgio nods slowly, looking into the candles. Be safe, Longshore. You may want nothing more from this life, but your journey has only just begun. I only wonder what it is you need. You need to get that letter out of your secret drawer before you forget about it and think it's stolen. He laughs. How did you? You know what? Never mind. Thank you, Strega. If you are right, I will owe you one. I'm sure you will. I tip my cap to him and stab the moog in the dish. I sit, trying, with only middling success, to keep myself from thinking about how strange it is that two people this day have visited me with kingship and war on their minds. When I realize that the candles have burned themselves out, and I am sitting in darkness, and the opium is no longer in my cheek, I stand. To the tavern, then? Before I can agree, the door opens once more. End episode 2. That is not what I thought I was going to read for you today. I have evidently lost the longer version of that scene. And that leaves me plenty of time to get something to eat. You like that, Rach? I'm gonna give you a glimpse at the most recent unfinished part that I wrote. I'm just gonna go down to the end of it. Strega is the Italian word for witch. Rach, if you want to join me, I'm going to read Gilgamesh, Great King of Mighty Uruk. But I'm going to start from chapter 11. Actually, no, I changed my mind. I'm going to start from chapter 10. If you don't know how to just jump to chapter 10, Control F10, enter. Christy, I have written a book. I am reading the book that I have written, and I have also published it. I'm reading it from where I published it. I have written a book. I have published it. Don't tell me what I should do. This is the standard Rob Longshore collection saying, oh my God, it's raining. Shit, I'm not going fucking anywhere tonight if it's going to rain. Shit, I'm not going to get to eat either. It's on my Patreon. It's in the Rob Longshore collection. It's not finished. I threw away the last 4 or 5 chapters. It's on my Patreon. I threw away my Patreon and I started working. I threw away the last few chapters and I started working on this instead. It should be like the second or third at my original of the work if you put it in order from oldest to newest. Great. It's on my Patreon. You can find it in the Not Rob Longshore collection, which is $25 in perpetuity. That price may change, but for now, if you buy the collection, you have it forever. Anything that goes in it is yours. I know you weren't telling me what to do, Christy. I have pathological demand avoidance, and I say that to be funny. It's how I maintain control of things that would otherwise make me upset when it's nobody's fault that I'm upset but my own. This might be all of my time. Oh, Rach, I don't want to slide to the top. Jude 4th, Gilgamesh, a great king of mighty Walter Rook, a Not Longshore novella. Is what it's titled, and I'm starting from chapter 10. Now, how well do you remember Gilgamesh, the poem? Chapter 10. I'm standing atop Uruk's mighty walls, looking out at the descending dark of night, when I hear my beloved Enkidu's footsteps approaching me. I turn to him. It's only been a week, but seeing him dressed in the regalia of my best friend Utu, not my deceased betrayer Utu, still does not feel right to me. The priests, the priests, he says, stopping a respectful distance away, whisper that the famine is because of Lady Inanna's curse, my king, Lord Gilgamesh. I look at him, searching his 2 big gray eyes. There's a sorrow there. Does he think this is his fault? Should I have let Utu leave have the city? Sorry, should I have let Utu have the city? Should Enki and I God damn it, I'm sorry. Should Enkidu and I have run away to the faraway mountains together and left all this behind? Is that so? I ask, shaking my head and looking back to the coming night. Enlil's wind at my back sticks to my skin and itches my hair. The gods fall. The gods fail, as although... God, I'm sorry. The rain is distracting me. The gods fail us, although we are their faithful servants, and the priests blame me, Lord Gilgamesh. He puts a hand on my chest. It has been nearly a year since anyone in your city has performed any public rite to the Lady Inanna. This feud between you two. You speak to me of the pillow talk between you and my high priestess, then, I demand. My heart is angry, a bitter stone at the pit of my stomach. Only then does he ever flinch in my presence. You ask me to speak where it is not my place, Lord. You are performing the rites without me. Never, Gilgamesh. I search his eyes. He may be lying. All I see is desperation, a need to be believed, and I do believe him. You've come to warn me they seek to replace me. I have. With you, as she did with Utu. We are brothers, Gilgamesh. It is the righteous, it is the noble thing to do, to warn you. Then warn me as you will, Brother Enkidu, and I will listen. He nods, a relieved, grateful bow. I burst into the private chambers of the high priestess, to Inanna at the temple of Eanna. In 2 fluid strides, I have seized Shemhat by her hair, where she sits at the foot of her bed in semi-transparent sleeping dress. Her eyes are wide, the emerald iris is shocked, her mouth agape and silent, until I pull her to her feet with my not inconsiderable strength. She shrieks, more pain than protest, but I hear the resignation there too. This has been coming since the day I first arrived in Uruk with my band of single mothers' sons and the noble betrayer Utu at my back. This city had only known peace until me. Releasing Shemhat's hair, I seize her gossamer silk robes, a gift I gave her. Tearing them in my fist between her breasts, her nipples are hard against the fabric. Her breasts heaved there. Our eyes meet. Hers are defiant. Do to me the worst you can, they say. I am unafraid of you. Mine rage. The edges of my vision blur with a blackened crimson. What have you done? I snarl in her face. At last we learn who the real beast is. She all but spits in my face. You are no great king, no man god. You are the animal. You the man beast. You are the animal, the man beast, not Enkidu. I slap her, not hard by my standards, backhanded across the face. You are no great king. Sorry. Her gown tears. She stumbles out of it. I catch her by the hair, holding her on her feet. Something which she has to effort at for some time. You would seek to replace me. Why? I demand. Peto flinches when I open my hand to slap her again if she tries anything stupid. My heart does likewise. I do not like this. I do not want to be here. I want to wake up from this nightmare. There should be another way to deal with her. There has to be. I have done nothing, she says, actually spitting this time, but blood from her lip and probably the inside of her cheek. The outside is bruising pretty badly already. The mother no longer answers my prayers. She looks at me, red rings around the emeralds of her eyes, and I realize that she was not praying at the foot of her bed. She was sobbing. My hand weakens just a flinch. I grip tighter. That sounds like the definition of you having done something wrong, High Priestess. Her head lifts proudly, as though to shrug off my fist from her curls. I am not the one who refuses my place in her creation, God King. You heard her curse you. She did not curse my city. She did not curse us with famine. I watch her as she watches the dirty floor. Have you seen something? How long until you blame this on me to the public? I ask. Her eyes burn with defiance, but her lips press firmly together. I slap her. I hadn't want to. It just happens. She falls this time. My hands are numb. I don't hold her up. There is fear in her eyes when she looks up at me, tangled and naked on the floor, and hatred. Is this what you need then to be aroused by me? You need to take what is yours by right, by love, with force? With an effort, she pushes herself to her knees. She tears herself the rest of the way out of her gown, seizing her breasts and thrusting them together. Am I too old for you then? Am I not woman enough? Would you prefer that I were a man? Is that what this is? She leaps to her feet. With heartbreaking ease, I bat away her slapping and punching hands, avoid her kicks for my knees and knees for my groin until she is exhausted. Then again, I catch her by the hair and pin her wrists together at the small of her back. Stop this, I whisper. This is not what I want. Then what do you want, great God King Gilgamesh? I will not wed you. I will not lie with you. I will not risk offspring upon you. It is abhorrent to me." "Abhorrent!" she screams, laughing hysterically. "And yet you would take every girl's first blood on her wedding day? You would risk sons on those women? Sons who will be raised to destroy you." "I would not," I say, trying to keep my voice low and even. "I have made sure that practice is ended for good. Are all of the gods angry, or just Inanna? For how long will we have to wait out her temper tantrum?" Peto struggles in my arms until I let her free. She turns to me, naked and as small as a girl compared with me. I cannot decide how mothers raise their son. Oh, sorry. I cannot decide how mothers raise their sons, I say when Peto takes the opportunity to be silent. Every son born to this kingdom has the heavenly right to challenge me when he has grown strong, or I have grown weak, or I have lost my god, Ea's blessing. Let On decide another god king to his liking. Let the Anunnaki make it so. Until then, this is my kingdom, and my people must not be made to believe that I am failing them as their king, that the gods are upset with me when it is clearly you who have failed us all. Shamhat's mouth falls open in outright unbelief. If I wed you, Peto, I wed Inanna. If I wed Inanna, only our children will be afforded the right to be great in this country. As it is, firstborn children will no longer be raised to believe that they are the son of their king and themselves descendant of the marriage of gods. What will unify them? Devotion to our children? This is abhorrent to me. You say that your god is mighty Ea. Is Ea not Lady Inanna's consort in heaven? Peto challenges me. In heaven, yes. Why should it not be so on earth? Because on earth she is unwed. She is the fertile earth. She is the soil that needs tended by every man, and she is his daughter. She is not mine by right alone. What woman is any man's alone? Peto spits this at my feet. No man has any right to any woman besides what she wills, marriage contract or otherwise. I don't know how, but she notices that my eyes are not on hers, but have once again found their way to her full, firm breasts and what must be painfully erect nipples. Her eyes change. Their heat is instantly inviting, like a campfire and caught beneath a willow tree in the night. She has approached me, I realize. Her hand is on my chest. She has reached inside my clothing, a large piece of cloth worn around the shoulders over a skirt. Her hand is warm. You desire me. She finds my erection, seizes it. You know I can please you without end, without tiring, without fatigue. Desire every other woman in the world, and find what you lack in me. I do not seek your pleasure, I say, grunting against the motion of her hand pulling back my foreskin, and the desire for her to replace her hand with her mouth. What do you seek? She asks, looking up at me with her lips shaping the question in an open O. My hands, I realize, have pulled her body against mine, and are full now of breast and buttock. I am hard, painfully so, like I've never been with any of the girls I'm wedding, with none of Shamhat's own handmaidens. What do you seek, my king? She asks, using her forefinger to smear around what I'm leaking into her hand. Shamhat's eyes are all I can see. Her words buzz my ears. Her tongue flicks one of my nipples. I want to close my eyes. I shove her away, breathing hard, panting, really, and feeling stupid, with my spear pointing and waggling at her with each breath. My people are starving, Peto, I say. A slave to your body you may have made Enkidu, but me. Fine, Shamhat says, rolling her eyes and wiping my semen on her thigh before picking up the tatters of her robes and swaddling herself in them. I have seen another way, if you will not please her as she wishes to be pleased. She has, I realize, placed her hand between her legs. When she withdraws it, her fingers are slick and gleam in the beam of moonlight streaming in through her window. I do not believe that you know her wishes any longer. No, sorry, that's Rob. I do not believe that you know her wishes any longer. You have not heard her answers to your prayers. She looks at me, her eyes narrowing hatefully, as she sits herself back on her bed, her breasts bouncing exaggerated, as she makes sure they are not included in her swaddling. Of course, if she's going to do it, I'm going to look. That doesn't mean I can't also say no. Stop this. Your people are dying too, High Priestess. If you're so horny, call Enkidu. Call all of the warriors, but leave me be. If your goddess is capable only of thinking of her own pleasure, maybe it would be best we find a new goddess and a new High Priestess. Peto stands, The robes fall to the floor. I have to resist rolling my head on my neck at this point. Be naked or do not be naked, woman. Pick one. I have seen in my vision that Lady Inanna has upset herself, let's say, by becoming overly concerned with the well-being of a certain halupu tree. A halupu tree. I repeat, a halupu tree. Peto wraps now one of the sheets from her bed around her nudity, doing about as much good as before. Her nipples aren't hard anymore, at least. Easier not to look at them when I'm not afraid they'll stab me in the eye if I'm not watching out for them. She planted it in the desert, and now she's concerned that it's going to die, so she's living in it. That is why we're having a famine. That sounds like some very serious bullshit, I say. Bullshit was holy once, she retorts. So instead of living in the garden we've cultivated for her in the city, she's living in a random halupu tree in the desert, and what? You want me to go talk to her? You want me to go talk her into coming home? Yes, Robert, she is a goddess. You are a god king, and you want to be a hero. This is what god king heroes do. Mysterious are the ways of a goddess, and inscrutable is Inanna's mind. I saw in my vision that she has planted a garden in her desert, and in her halupu tree have taken up 3 unwelcome residents. A serpent immune to all charms, an unsupered, and Inanna's Lilith herself. Then I will find this halupu tree and I will cut it down, I declare. Are you only able to think of one solution to your problems? Perhaps cutting down the tree should be your last option, great King Gilgamesh. The goddess may not love you killing her home. We will see, I snarl. If this you can do, the goddess may lift the famine. I look at her skeptical. She seems to believe what she says. Then Enkidu and I will be off immediately. No, Enkidu must stay here. This is a quest for you alone. I do not trust you, witch, I say, putting my finger under her nose and forcing her to crane her neck to look me in the eye with all the defiance her emerald fires can muster. I was educated by the great priest of Ur. My mother is the high priestess Puabi. I know everything there is to know about the worlds of men. I know the secrets of leading them in battle and of placating them in peace. I am the conqueror of Uruk, the slayer of mighty Huwawa. I know how to mobilize the masses for great work projects. I have led them in conquest and plunder of foreign lands. The worlds of women, however, are a mystery to me. But you, Peto, I know, and you are as treacherous as a snake asking help with a fording a river. You will bite me when my back is turned or my attention is diverted from you, just to do it. Your secrets evade me, your magics befuddle me, and yet I must rely on you to feed my people, even when my people starve. You will not also turn my greatest friend into a dearest enemy in my absence, not while I yet live. Enkidu comes with me. The goddess forbids it. The goddess forbids it! I roar my irony. Or do you? The commands of a god I will obey, which you I will not. Lady Inanna calls you and you alone to her side. And if I insist, will she deny the aid of 2 conquering heroes when she would grant it of 1? Enkidu will die if he helps you. There is no way around it. I have seen it. The goddess hath spoken. She does not answer your prayers. Peto's eyes fly open. An impossible emerald light pours out of them. My will is as she speaks. A voice booms from everywhere. It is not Peto's, but her lips mime it. Just as suddenly, she's her normal self again. You are in more danger from yourself than you are in from me, Lord Gilgamesh. I would be your holy wife, your sacredest ally in this life, and all of them to come. I watch Peto warily. I swear by all the greatest and oldest gods and all their most powerful curses, even those curses which I cannot possibly comprehend. Sorry, this is Rob speaking. I swear by all the greatest and oldest gods and their most powerful curses, even those curses which I cannot possibly comprehend. If when I return, Enkidu's heart is turned against me, if he or anyone else sits on my throne, I will remove your head from your body, as slowly as the gods permit me time. Do you understand me, witch? I remove my finger from beneath Peto's nose. She does not flinch, does not so much as blink. I understand you, great King Robert. 11. There is indeed a giant halupu tree in a low-walled garden in the middle of the desert. Exactly where Peto said she'd seen it in her dream. It should be impossible, but there it is. And that's fine, because I'm here to remove it. If Inanna wants it gone, if she's diverting all of her power to keeping it alive in the middle of the damn desert, when she should be feeding my people, well, hell. Hacking this sucker down shouldn't take any time at all. Let's get this the hell over with. I lift my axe, and a serpent dips its head out of the hanging boughs of the weeping willow halupu tree. It looks right at me, bearing fangs which drip viscous, obviously deadly poison. Well, all right then. She did say there would be a serpent, and look at that. It wasted no time making itself known. Just to see what happens, I prop the axe on my shoulder and walk around to the other side of the tree. When I hoist my axe as though to swing at the trunk, the same thing, except the serpent lunges at me. It isn't close enough that I'm in any danger, but I don't back away. I'm amused. All right now, I say. You want to stop that for me? Inanna says she wants this tree gone. Nobody said anything about killing you. I would prefer not to have to, you hear me? What do you know of what Lady Inanna wants? The serpent asks, theatrically flicking its tongue at me with the final syllable. It should be, what do you know of what Lady Inanna wants? For a single moment, I'm surprised. Then I'm shaking my head. Suddenly, I'm in a myth. I feel like I've been preparing myself my whole life for this moment, and still, this is not happening. I say, I'm not arguing with you about this. Or, hear me out, human. You can kindly fucking hack your own head off with that axe now. Thank you. I determine that this isn't an entirely bad idea, actually. Looking down at the wedge blade of the axe, I consider how I might get it through my neck, or whether the serpent would be equally pleased if I bashed it into my brain pan instead. Then I whip my attention back to the serpent. No, 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 I say, wagging a finger at it. I denounce you, spirit. Now I know you are no serpent. I command you, come down from that tree. I am no serpent. I am no spirit. But I am a simple snake. This is my tree, the serpent protests. I found this tree in this garden, and it's mine. You get your own tree in your own garden. There is plenty of desert for you to die in. I turn, as though to walk into the desert and there die, then stop myself. Who told you this? That Inanna wants this tree removed. Who told you this? That Inanna wants this tree removed? Did Inanna tell you this? Or did someone who means you harm, tell you this? Well, I reel around on the new voice. Oh, sorry. Did this to myself. Who told you this? That Inanna wants this tree removed? Did Inanna tell you this? Or did someone who means you harm tell you this? Well, I wheel around on the new voice, a voice of a beautiful woman, and I am taken aback. A woman is standing directly beside me. All right, as though she had been there this whole time, and this is as ordinary goes. Only she's all but as transparent as the gossamer robes which conceal the sacred nudity of Peto and her priestesses. I am startled. I drop my axe, lurching away from her, and stepping away from a lunge from the serpent, only to realize that she is the phantom. Oh, excellent, actually. She appears to be a woman in late middle age, her face round and lined with smile lines, her eyes overbig and glowing, a jade as lukewarm as the universe in its old age. She smiles at me, looks at the serpent, and says nothing. Phantoms can neither speak nor interact in this world. That she has manifested at all must require a great amount of effort for her spirit, or this tree must be producing a remarkable amount of spiritual whatever. I had expected something like this. Approaching the tree once more, I try a different tack. Looking first to the axe, I discard that as an avenue toward getting this quest completed. From a pack on my shoulders, I produce a gish-gudi, the long-necked, three-stringed lyre of my people, and my favorite of the many instruments with which I am trained. I begin to play it, plucking with the fingers of my right hand and working the strings with my left. The serpent watches me with interested eyes. O serpent, will you listen to me? O serpent, will you not heed? I need you to come down, oh come down from that tree. O serpent, won't you listen to me? The serpent's brow arches in an anthropomorphic mime of being impressed. Well, oh well, little man, human thing, your song is good. I'm charmed, yes indeed, but enchanted I will not be. For you see, I am the serpent about whom songs are sung. You cannot enchant me, and I will never leave this tree. O serpent, I know ye well. O serpent, please listen to me. My name is Gilgamesh, a great king, yes I be. Lady Nana, O serpent, sent me to this tree. Lady Nana, you say, Lady Nana, what know you of Lady Inanna? What know you of the goddess? Pitiful man, puny man, you know nothing of what the goddess plans. You speak true, O serpent, you speak true. O serpent, allow me to listen to you. Come sit upon my shoulder, my neck around it yourself wind. O serpent, share with me your mind. Enough of this devil went down to Georgia Wankery, the serpent says, dropping from its branch to the ground. Entice me. I have my own tree and my own garden. I'm here because Lady Inanna wants this tree gone. This isn't about you and me. There is really only one problem, hero. For you see, I have grown fond of the screech owls who nightly take up residence in my tree. My tree also has owls, Snake. More owls than this one, surely, for this tree cannot support as many mice as a tree at the heart of a great city of men. You misunderstand me, human, the serpent says, languishing on its favorite syllables as it dangles itself lower from the branch, reaching its head toward me in the mostly uncannily serpentine way. All trees have life for me to feed upon. It is so slow and so much work to slither through the sand on my belly. It burns me, it shifts from beneath me. Ah, but you are a man. You know nothing of the troubles of a lowly beast such as I. You rode here on the back of a donkey, did you not? With a great war conga to speed our travel. We could get to your mighty Walder Rook, and I can judge your tree for myself much faster. Will you really listen to me if I tell you what I know? I set aside my instrument. I will. Place your fangs to my throat if you like. I will have no chance to defend myself should you choose to end my life. I will have no chance to kill your precious tree. Before I have finished speaking, the serpent has made himself comfortable, wrapped, boa-like, around my shoulders. It is at that moment, while the Lilith is watching me with dubious eyes, that a great Anzu bird, the monstrous creation of Abzu, with a lion's head and body, but an eagle's wings and talons, appears from the bowels of the tree. This tree is the entire world, Gilgamesh, it says, looking proudly down at me. It is Lady Inanna's body. The cosmos is a vast desert like that beyond these walls. This world is a walled garden. The tree is the garden. If you destroy it, you destroy the world. That cannot be, I say to the Abzu bird. Trees are not only trees. Trees are not only trees, as metaphors are not only metaphors. A tree can be the throne of a just king, long after both are but memories. It can be the marriage bed of a happy home. There will always be more trees, as long as the gods will it. Tend to this place, to the serpent, to the Lilith, to me instead. Worship Lady Inanna, gardener king. Tend to her. To what end? I ask. I have a garden all my own at her temple to Eanna. Lady Inanna is neglecting her people by being in this garden at all. I look to the phantom. You are her Lilith. Tell her to leave from this place and return to her people in the name of the Bull of Heaven. The phantom looks shocked, placing her hand over a mute mouth, gasping airlessly. It was worth a shot. She shakes her head like I'm stupid. She's probably right. You seem not to understand the human thing. The Abzu bird says from the highest boughs. My attention returns to it. I am aware of the respirations of the serpent draped around my shoulders. I am not afraid of it. Let death come if it will. What do I not understand? That temple is no longer appealing to the goddess. The bird explains, lifting a foot and opening it like an extended, explanatory palm. I won't have any problem killing this bird if it comes to that. She liked how it was before. Her people only care whether the grain will grow, whether the rivers will flood, whether maids will take their husband's seed, and that their children will be born healthy. They care nothing for their devotion to her outside how she will reward them. Her kind have exterminated yours before. She is not so loving that she cannot start anew. Ask your ancestor Utnapishtim. The bird visibly shrugs. Yeah, I'm going to wring its neck. The serpent snugs tighter around mine. I know of no ancestor Utnapishtim. Well, the bird exclaims with a squawk. Far be it for me to spoil a story he could tell with his own lips. He survived the ancient flood and yet lives? And holds the secrets to the immortality of the gods. If the bird is suggesting to me something I might covet, that day is someday, not today. Suddenly I see the flash of an axe. I hear not the thunk of copper into wood, but the wet smack of blade into flesh. Enkidu's weapon, a hero's axe forged of the finest steel in all the world, passes through Lady Inanna's neck and shoulder in one fluid motion as though she were less substantial than a bamboo reed. Her head and arm are ejaculated from her body in a gushing fountain of blood, unlike anything any human person has ever experienced, like an overfilled Boda bag squeezed by an angry giant. The serpent releases an agonizing hiss and drops, dead, from my shoulders. The Lilith is clawing her face, leaving raked, bleeding lines in her translucent face, and silently screaming. The Abzu bird shrieks and dives for Enkidu. I watch as with his hands he breaks the monster's neck and throws it to the ground. And then there is no Hulupu tree. There is no garden, no snake, no owl. Only Enkidu turning to me. He is covered in blood. To my horror, it's not Inanna's blood but his own, and it runs out of his mouth and nose and from his eyes and ears in a great gash that is opened up across his belly. Are you well, my brother? He asks, walking, collapsing, and dragging himself to look up from my feet at me with a dog's eager smile. His eyes seem ignorant of the blood oozing between his teeth. Enkidu! I gasp, but my body goes limp and falls on its side before me. But his body goes limp and falls on its side before me. I'm screaming, staring in horror as the desert sand drinks my brother's blood. I'm not going to do this now, but no. Wordlessly, inarticulately, I scream, falling to my knees to vent my rage and grief at the uncaring desert sky. The ground rumbles. The Hulupu tree lurches, falling, its roots bursting out of soil gone as dead as blasted sand. The ground quakes, screaming as though in response to my own cries, as it's rent apart beneath where the tree once stood. A chasm opens up very nearly at my feet like a gaping, hellish mouth, and it swallows my dead friend Enkidu's body whole. Oh, hell no. Inanna can't have his life and eat him too. I dive in after him. 12. I could not save him. That is what I know. Everything else is inconsequential. I can hardly recognize myself. I'm standing in front of a bronze-plated door which was once polished to a golden shrine and as reflective as the heavens. I would stop here when I was young, when I was great King Gilgamesh, and I would behold myself. In the bronze reflection, I could believe I saw what my people saw in me. As it is, I see only a wretch, my hollow cheeks and ravaged features, my face frost-chilled and burnt by the sun. I have leaned my cloth-wrapped burden, which was once shorter than me only, and bigger boned, but which now, against the door, Picking him up once more, holding him tight to my chest, I walk through the doors of Inanna's temple at Aeana. Peto stands from her couch. No longer the rich room this once was, she looks at me from a face which has grown old from hunger and grief. "Lo, stranger," she says, approaching me, "ease yourself of your burden a while." I raise myself to my full height, clutching tight my package for balance. Her eyes fill with wonder at my great wizened size, but not recognition. "I may not feed you, traveler. I have nothing to share. The canals and wells are dry. There is no rain to grow grain, to break bread, to bake bread. But I have a couch you may rest your weary bones upon. Sit with me. Tell me, why are your cheeks so hollow and your features so ravaged? Why is your face frost-chilled and burnt by the sun? Why is there so much grief in your heart? Why are you worn out and ready to collapse, like someone who has been on a long, hard journey? What is that you carry, and who are you? What are you called in the lands from whence you hail?" Gently, I set down my burden, placing him alone on the couch to rest. I look into Peto's emerald eyes, at the dim candle flames they have become, and what remains of my tattered heart is scattered ash in the wind. I thought to never see her again. I struggle to smile. Cheeks that have become sun-blasted parchment crack and tear. It's been so long since I had a reason for anything but sorrow. I thought I'd forgotten how to feel. "Do you not know your betrothed, High Priestess Shamhat?" I ask. "I am he, that king of Uruk who left you to save his people from this very famine which has ruined your beauty. It is I, Gilgamesh the Wretched." Beto's two large eyes are wide and shimmer like the surface of a lake waiting to break. "Should not my cheeks be hollow?" I ask, tears streaking the grime marring my once beautiful face. "Should not my face be ravaged, frost-chilled and burnt by the desert sun? Should not my heart be filled with grief? Should I not be worn out and ready to collapse? My friend, my brother, whom I love so dearly, who accompanied me through every danger, the fate of mankind has overwhelmed him. Inanna took his life, and his body she thrust into the underworld." I look down at my package. "I found him," is all I can say. "For 6 days and 7 nights I have carried him since I returned from Inanna's kingdom beneath the earth. I have neither eaten nor rested since I have returned with my brother's body from that place. For 6 days and 7 nights I have mourned my brother. I thought to myself when his body did not rise from his condition, if my grief is great enough, perhaps he will live again. Inanna's Abzu bird or her Lilith will return his soul to me. But no, Enkidu is never again to rise. My brother will never again kiss my mouth." I turn to Peto. My legs disappear from beneath me. She catches me around my shoulders, my great grief dragging her to the ground with me. "Oh, Robert," she cries, her hand seizing my hair. "You have finally returned to us, great king. I barely recognize the great man you have become. It has been 7 years since you left us, my love. Please tell me that you are here to stay with me." With all the effort I have remaining, I lift my head to look into her emerald flames. I cannot. I shudder to admit, I must bury my brother. She nods, tears now spilling freely down her own cheeks. "It is good that you would plant him in the soil of the city that loved him." "This is not. I must take him to the faraway mountains. He must sleep in the bosom of our mother. I must." "Please, Robert, do not.
Plant him with the great tree that remembers your might. Return him to this earth. That would be most pleasing to Lady Ishtar.
Lady Ishtar, I ask, searching her face, horror filling my very being. She nods, her neck so weary.
The Lady Inanna has taken another suitor in your absence. Sargon, my son, by Aga, your greatest rival, the one you forgot in your absence. Ishtar has taken the name her king prefers.
This is enough to erode away the last of my resolve to stay in this place and not leave once and for all. My head hangs, my defeat utter, final. Peto pulls me into her flaccid bosom. Sobs rack my shoulders which were once indomitable. I should have returned. I did not. I did not return once I found him. I roamed the wilderness of the underworld. What was I to do? What am I to do without him? Those who dwell there squat in the darkness. Dirt is their food. Their drink is clay. They are dressed in feathered garments like birds. They never see the light, and on door and bolt the dust lies thick. When I entered the house, I looked, and all around me were piles of crowns. I saw proud kings who had ruled this land, who had set out to roast meat before the gods, had offered cold water and cakes for the dead. I saw high priests and acolytes squatting, exorcists and prophets, the ecstatic and the dull. I saw Itana, the primeval king Sumukwan, the wild animals god, and the Rashkiga, wife of Nergal, somber queen of the underworld. Palatseri, her scribe, was kneeling before her, reading from the tablet on which each mortal's death is inscribed. When the queen saw me, she asked, "Who let great King Ilgamesh in my halls?" My throat catches. I choke a sob. I cannot bear what has happened to my beloved Enkidu. How can my mind have any rest? I will do as you suggest. My people deserve that much at least. Let my memory grow into a great and mighty forest. Then I will leave this land for good. I will roam those places my beloved Enkidu loved so much before I interrupted his peace with you and your scheming. My beloved Enkidu has turned to clay. Enkidu, the wisest, bravest man ever to live. And there he lies, bound in bandages for the burial pit. I stole him away from her only to return him to Inanna with grave cuts and sacrifice. It is too much. Peto lifts my head. May it be that this pleases her and she returns his spirit to his body in the afterlife. And won't I lie down in the dirt like him and never rise again? I ask, pushing myself away from her bony chest. Her eyes scorch mine. There is one who knows a way around death, if that is your wish, great king. You are a married woman, I remind her, and you are my betrothed. It was never I who betrayed you, never once I who worked against you. Would you not avenge yourself on the men who took me before our wedding day? Is this possible? You say that I can make myself live eternally as the gods. I do, and you know of this means. I do. I stare into her emerald eyes. What is your condition? Only what you want, Robert. I will tell you how to find Utnapishtim, your relative and the last mortal to escape Rushanabi, and you will return to Uruk and lead this city as a proper king. You will tell me if I will return to your marriage bed. Her slow blink is her only affirmative. My head hangs. Taking a single breath through my nose, I stand, making myself as regal as my wrecked body will allow. Shamhat, why have I allowed Enkidu to curse you? I ask,
Wasn't it you who gave him fine bread fit for a god and fine beer fit for a king, who clothed him in a glorious robe and gave him to me as my intimate friend? I will lie him down on a royal bier. On his left I will place Enkidu's statue in the seat of repose. The people of Uruk will mourn him, and when he is gone, I will roam the wilderness with my matted hair, and only my lion's skin. It was Utu who turned him against me, not you. So this I say to you now. I help her to her feet. Shamhat, I assign you a different fate. My heart which cursed you will bless you now. May you be adored by nobles and princes. 2 miles away from you may your lover tremble with excitement. 1 mile away may he bite his lip in anticipation. May the warrior long to be naked beside you. May Ishtar, your goddess, give you generous lovers, whose treasure chests brim with jewels and with gold. May the mother of 7 be abandoned for your sake. Now, gather my people. My beloved friend deserves a true funeral. Tell the blacksmiths, the goldsmiths, workers in silver, metal, and gems. Create a statue of Enkidu, my friend. I do not care if I am no longer your king, nor if Aga will punish you harshly for this. Do it. Make it more splendid than any statue that has ever been made. Cover his beard with lapis lazuli, his chest with gold. Let obsidian and all other beautiful stones, 1,000 jewels of every color, be piled along with the silver and gold and sent on a barge down the Euphrates to Great Wall Uruk for Enkidu's statue. I leave her, marching a ruined body which suddenly has all the vim and vigor of my youth, to the treasury, a ghost of myself and nothing more. None would dare stand in my way, and none does. The guards of that place make themselves invisible as I throw open the great doors. I am standing atop the great ziggurat of Ea, holding all my assembled people. Weak with hunger, none of them is here to rejoice, and neither am I. Enkidu! I cry to the heavens. Dearest brother, you came to Uruk from the wilderness. Your mother was a gazelle, your father a wild ass. You were raised on milk of antelope and deer, and the wandering herds taught you where the best pastures were. May the paths that led you to the cedar forest mourn you constantly, day and night. May the elders of Great Walled Uruk mourn you, who gave us their blessing when we departed. May the hills mourn you and the mountains we climbed. May the pastures mourn you as their own son. May the forest we slashed in our fury mourn you. May the bear mourn you, the hyena, the panther, the leopard, deer, jackal, lion, wild bull, gazelle. May the rivers Ulaya and Euphrates mourn you, whose waters sacred we offered to the gods. May the young men of Great Walled Uruk mourn you, who cheered when you slaughtered the bull of heaven, my friend Utu. May the farmer mourn you, who praised you to the skies in his harvest song. May the shepherd mourn you, who massaged you with sweet-smelling oils. May the wedding guests mourn you like their own brother. May the temple priests mourn you, loosening their hair. I fall to my knees atop Aeana's mighty ziggurat, tearing my hair and rendering my sackcloth robes. The sky tears with lapis lazuli lightning, and the first rain in 7 years falls on my people. Hear me, elders, hear me, young men, I cry. My beloved brother is dead. He is dead. My beloved brother is dead. I throw my body over his like a wife. I will mourn as long as I breathe. I will sob for him like a woman who has lost her only child. Oh, Enkidu. You were the axe at my side in which my arm trusted, the knife in my sheath, the shield I carried. My glorious robe, the wide belt around my loins, and now a harsh fate has torn you from me forever. Beloved friend, swift stallion, wild deer, leopard ranging in the wilderness, Enkidu, my friend. Together we crossed the mountains. Together we killed Humbaba, who guarded the cedar forest. And together we rescued my people from the bull of heaven. What is this sleep that has seized you, that has darkened your face and stopped your breath? I veil Enkidu's face like a bride's, and his bandaged, wrapped body is taken from me by the priest of Ishtar. Beto steps up beside me, her face hidden beneath a black veil. I gather up my treasure. Priceless, jewel-studded weapons and tools, with inlaid handles of ivory and gold, and I pile them in Peto's arms. See that he has the richest grave goods and that the gods are satisfied, I say, looking north and east, toward the faraway mountains. Shifting her burden to a man with a cart, Peto asks me, "Will you not accept my offer?" I regard her. My heart longs to be with my mother, High Priestess. But if what you say is possible, and what you want is only for me to do what I should have before Enkidu came to my life, I hesitate, but I nod. I will do it. Tell me what you know. Theme. Let's go, Gilgamesh. All my stuff is sad, baby. My stuff is not happy. My stuff is all tragedies. My life. There is a draft somewhere that I will look for where Rob wakes up from that and Giorgio is in his office. And I'll just tell you, in those dreams, Francis is a reincarnation of Paul, saint, epistle writer, and Francis is a reincarnation of Enkidu. Not Francis. Giorgio is a reincarnation of Enkidu. And so in the next scene, he wakes up and that reprises, like the Jesus, like the Dream I Died reprises itself with Francis. The Gilgamesh stuff reprises in another novel, another novella with Giorgio. And there's a scene, Rob actually goes and tours the Jewish district and has a conversation, has a little dialect with a Jewish man that I need to find because it's really good. It's really good. But Abby has hated it, so I might have deleted it entirely. I'll look for it. But I might have deleted it forever because Abs hated it. So it might just be gone. It might be gone forever. He couldn't understand why Francis is such a prick and why Rob is so the way he is with Giorgio. And I need to say, just the stuff that felt like ancient. That's why I asked, how much do you remember? A lot of that dialogue is the original poem that I've changed to make sense. I took the original poems. I took poems that you'll have to fucking look for. That Halupu tree, Gilgamesh, there's a real poem about that. That really happened. As far as someone else told that base story using Gilgamesh. and I just gave it modern dialogue to make it make sense. And the same, when he says, I saw the queen, Eresh Kigal, there's a whole poem about that. He doesn't go in after Enkidu, though. Not in the original. I changed enough to make it mine, to make it make sense, because it's a dream. You understand? He's dreaming this. That's why it switches locations so fast in mid-sentence or mid-paragraph, it feels like. I did my research. I know what I'm talking about. When he comes back and she says, my goddess Ishtar, my first thought was, oh, I made a mistake, because Ishtar is what Inanna was called after. And then she goes, my husband Aga, and I went, right, okay, yeah, that happened. There's a poem about that too. When he says, tell poems of me so they remember me, is the greatest kind of hero. After Uruk was conquered by Aga, by the Akkadians, after Sumer was conquered by King Aga of the Akkadians, there continued to be Gilgamesh poems produced in Sumerian in rebellion to Aga, talking about how Gilgamesh actually beat Aga in fights and stuff. So all I did was bring that world to life. And that was before I read Weaver's Scribes and Kings. Reading Weaver's Scribes and Kings allowed me to read it to make sure that I knew what I was talking about 4 years ago, too. I know what I'm doing. If you just trust me. It's raining and I need to go get something to eat. So we're going to say that God has had other plans. And you can read the rain. You can read the rain accurately if you've been listening to my stuff. Because it started raining the moment I decided I was going to read you a myth about making it rain. If Jesus were talking to you at a live stream, would you even know it? The original Giorgio, that was the original draft that I wrote. And I was just writing it all to get it done. And I went back and it's not right. It's broken. Because they're having a conversation about the basics of magic, and Rob is trying not to teach him, and Giorgio isn't expressing that he knows more than he should. He expresses that he knows more than what he should. He expresses that by talking about the Scaleo, but you would have to have read episode 1 and paid really close attention to Rob telling Francis, you can't talk about it out loud. If you talk about it out loud, you're marked for death. To care. You'd have to care about the Giorgio scene as it's written now. You would have had to have read the Francis scene. And so all of the episodes build like that. I stopped describing things because I needed to get through it. It's 1,000,000 words. You're going to get a first draft of 1,000,000 words. You got to get 300,000 of them down at least, right? You got to get a few. There's like 500,000, legitimately like 500,000 words on this already. And so it's not right. It's not finished. It needs a master to come back and finish it. But I've missed the movie. There's no way I'm getting the movie on time. And the rain made sure of that. And the rain is how God communicates to me. I've made that abundantly clear on this channel. If you're not listening, you're not listening, and it's just not for you. I don't know why you're subbed here. Legitimately. I don't know. I don't have anything for you. If you're not listening, I don't have anything to give you.
I mean, like, what did the Abzu bird tell Gilgamesh? Go to the guy who lives as far from civilization as you can comprehend and ask him questions. You're not going to listen for the answers. Why did you go? Doesn't make sense to me. But what I'm doing is self-evident to me. I get it. I see what I'm doing. And now that I'm spending my time in a way that makes sense. Rachel's supposed to be asleep an hour ago. You guys are cutting into her bedtime, and you're not making a good conversation in the chat to make it worth it to her. Come on, guys. You may not be spending your money, but you're spending someone else's. Time is money. Don't be sorry. I told you could stay up until 9. People come through here sometimes and they ask me what my real ambition is. And I tell them my answer to that question is you wouldn't understand it if I told you. You would be able to comprehend my real ambition. My real ambition is to be recognized posthumously, but to be recognized as the greatest writer in the English language. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that's mildew stank, which means that I gotta. That's a lot of mildew stank. Shit. In my cut. So we know what that means. It can't be answered simply what my true ambition is. I mean, no, it can't be answered simply. My true ambition is to start a religion and to be remembered as the greatest writer in the English language. Yep, we got lots of mildew stank, which means that water was able to leak through the dry bag, condensate through the dry bag. Not good. Not a big deal either, but water was able to condensate through the dry bag and get to my pants. I now smell like your grandma's basement. Not good. Not good at all. So we're going to return to our normal scheduling then. Yeah, tomorrow I have to do laundry. I have no choice now. If I've got mildew, I have to do laundry. That's not good. I'm not doing my blankets though. Cope. The blankets are heavy and my legs hurt. My blankets aren't mildewed yet. It's the mildew that we're most concerned with. And I can, honestly, I got time. I could probably get a spray for it. Rid-X. But I'm not going to cheat it. Promise. I promised I wouldn't cheat it. Yeah, she warned him that if Enkidu came and saved him. And so there's an implication there, Rach. The implication is that Enkidu made the choice. That Enkidu saw the he saw the writing on the wall. There's also stuff. There's also stuff obviously there's politics stuff. There's like it's a political. That novella is a political thriller. So since you're still awake, I'll actually talk to you about this a little bit, Rach. Don't tell anybody, but I just put my pants on inside out. So that's fucking embarrassing. Yeah, I'll just make that work because we're only wearing them. I'll take them off in the Taco Bell. Just wearing them to stay dry. Anyway, they were lovers. They were lovers. That's why Peto Shimhat asks him if he wouldn't prefer Enkidu's sex to hers. She jealous. But they were also lovers. Yeah, that's fine. They did sex stuff to one another, but also family. I mean, they were. That's why he calls him my brother. Like that over and over. Yeah, they were brothers. For sure. It doesn't have to be a perversion. They loved one another deeply. Intimate brothers, yeah. I've told you about how that bond worked in the ancient world. That was a common bond in the ancient world. But I'll tell you I'll just tell you something else. Because I did this in large part. I write these stories in this in large part so I can talk about the real history. Because it turns out that after I do the draft, after Rob tells me the story, and then I compile it and I read it, I go back and I research it to make sure that I haven't taken too many creative licenses with reality. Because, as you've noticed, if you're paying attention, I like to read alternate histories. I like to read alternate historical works or historical fictional works to test me and my knowledge of reality, to test my knowledge of reality against art, right? Against a story, against that person's knowledge of reality. And so I did that with my creative work, right? Write it when Rob's finished telling me what he thinks happened or what he experienced. I check, okay, well, how much of that checks against reality? And what I found is I skipped all of it because there's a lot of political stuff with the character Utu, but he shows up at the end, Utu. His name is at the end. Utu is really interesting because Utu is he's a character that doesn't show up in many histories. He didn't even show up in scribes, weavers, and poets, or kings. Weavers, scribes, and kings. Yeah, 7 years. That was real too. That happened too. They explained because they have 7 years of famine in the Gilgamesh epic, and so the epic where the poem where Gilgamesh goes into the underworld explains that's why there's 7 years of famine. It's because he was gone. The God King was gone for so long. But Utu is a god. Utu is a god of fire. But in their pantheon is the wrong word, but in their pantheon is the word that you will understand. In their pantheon or in their cosmology, Utu is a usurper. He's a usurper god. And historians don't really lean into it. And I don't really understand why, because he's another
maybe because of the alternate historian idea that the fire god, alternate historians and people like Graham Hancock or whatever noticed or want to try to fit the rebellious fire god a la Prometheus onto every religion. But what seems to have happened is that the Sumerian fire god actually did rebel. That the Sumerian fire cult actually did rebel. Seems to have happened in history. And so I wanted to lean into that and play with it the best I could because it seems to be a genuine mystery. And so who knows if I'm right. If I'm right, I'm a genius. If I'm wrong, I'm just a good writer of fiction. But see, that's how we arrived at a lot of what we believe today. Was the 19th century just saying, well, non-zero is non-zero, right? Like that the meme from Dumb and Dumber. So you mean I got a chance? I could be more right than anybody ever. Oh, I'm a genius either way. Exactly. It's right. It's like Rich says about his show. You know, if he's right, he's right. If he's wrong, nobody's going to remember. And I'm a genius no matter what for just making the attempt in the way that I've done it. The way that I've done it is such the scope, the scale, the grandeur, and then the execution. It's most certainly not a fucking 10. Execution is not a 10. No, I'm not. I don't have hubris. It's closer to a 6.5 than a 10. But it's better than anything you'll find anywhere else. I mean that. Even a draft of my work is better than you'll pay $60 for in a bookstore. This person gonna come right at me? Yes, they are. God damn, people have no tact whatsoever. I mean, where else are you gonna go in your day and learn about the lived experience of 4th millennium Uruk? And so, like, you know, Gilgamesh saying that he's the son of Puabi, right? No, probably not. But what I was doing was, it's a dream. And the other thing you got to think about, if you're going to start to think about like questioning the reality of what I've made, is that if Rob is having these dreams, that means that the information has to be in his brain, which means we can't just rely on reincarnation shit to make it make sense. And so what that means is that when Rob was a boy, he had read these, or at least heard. That's the thing that people forget. You can have heard a poem. You can have heard a song enough times to memorize it, at least for the story and the poem to be in your brain. And that's enough for you to be able to manipulate the archetypes of the story. And so whether Rob actually experienced that life as a previous life to his lived experience, well, Rob, the narrator Rob, has no memory. The lived man Rob, right, the private detective in 900 AD, he's just a 25-year-old dude. But the narrator that's telling you everything that's happening, that's talking to you, he has no memory. Exactly. It maybe is better than he because he doesn't have genitals anymore. He doesn't even have a body. He's basically the wrong kind of ghost. He's basically a residual haunting. The Lilith, the ghost, the phantom that can't speak or interact in the reality, that's what Rob is. He was giving you a hint about what he is, who's speaking to you. And if you're paying attention and you like this stuff, you would have noticed that I called it a Lilit, L-I-L-I-T, and that sounds an awful lot like the Hebrew word Lilith, or Lilith, if you're going to if you're going to read that word in English. Yeah, the voice is in my head, Eric. Yeah, for sure. That's what Rob is. He's a voice that's in my head. And I can only get out with a pen. It's supposed to be embarrassing to admit that, but I'm a writer. I'm inspired. Historically speaking, what's going on for me, not unusual. Especially if you're paying attention as I'm reading through this 19th century work. Yes, Rach. Yes. In the same way that Inanna becomes Ishtar, Lilith becomes Lilith. And a Lilith is a particular kind of supernatural entity, not one particular supernatural entity. Yeah. Liliths are the owl. You know how they were talking about, he and the Abzu bird were arguing. I know I misspelled it a bunch of times. Did you notice that he and the Abzu bird were arguing about owls, right? Owls. Lily too are a particular kind of owl. The King James version of the Bible translates all of the mentions of Lilith or Lily to either Lilith itself or Lily 2, the class of demon. They call all of them screech owls, because that's what the word also was. They thought screech owls would come into your windows at night and steal your soul, eat your babies. And so you might notice the Lamia when he was talking, when Rob was like thinking to himself about what is a Lamia, and Peto was talking about how there will always be a woman responsible for everything that's wrong in the world. And then Giorgio and Rob are arguing about whether evil exists. And then Rob is having this dream where he's confronting the most evil thing possible in Sumerian history, and it turns out to be the God King himself. That the only thing a God King can do and be good to his people is leave. He's having this dream moments after his best friend Francis tells him that the city of Genoa wants him to be their king. And he's thinking so he's having this dream about what are kings. What does it even mean to be a king? And basically what he's saying is that the only ethical approach to kingship is to abandon it. It's a whole political treatise. Hi there. What up? I'm ruining your floors. Yeah, it's a 1,000,000-word thesis on one mythological trope. One mythological story. A 1,000,000-word thesis is what the Lesvos Serpent is. Yeah, I used to read a bunch of work like Joseph Campbell in comparative mythology among academics, like legitimate academics. What they're trying to do is arrive at a monomyth. They're trying to prove that every myth came from one source myth. And so what I've done with Rob is try to show that every myth comes from history, from one straight line telling. If you tell the story of humanity from front to back, the way it happened, and you cut out the bulk of the politics, what you'll arrive at is the myths that have survived to us today. And so I've tried my best to recreate 15,000 years of human history and then represent it in this book. Even though this book is much closer to 250 or 300,000 years of human history. And I wanted to give it away to you guys for free, but nobody would look at it. And then I said to myself, well, that dead guy who wrote it deserves to make money off it. I'm going to show you the movie in bootleg. If I could get somebody to work on it. I missed the movie. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch the movie. Not today. I'll go watch the movie tomorrow. What it makes sense to do is gather up my laundry, go down, do my laundry, catch the movie on the way back up. That makes sense. That's what a smart person would do. I chose to sit and talk to you guys. Eric, the movie started 15 minutes ago, buddy. I chose to sit and read to you guys instead. Yeah, these pants are stinky. They needed to be let out to air out from the last time I took them. Yeah, it started raining. Did you just skip out on the whole live, Eric? You skip out on the whole show, buddy? Fell asleep like a potato. Because potatoes, they're known for how they're sleeping. They're known for their sleep patterns. That's what we do with potatoes. Just watch them sleep for the most part. I appreciate you, Rach. Without you, I really just wouldn't have a reason to wake up in the mornings. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to get my laptop set up, and I'm going to end up hanging out with Eric in the Discord. So I'll watch some football on my phone here, and I'm going to try to get, it's called Seasoning. Amazing. I'm going to try to get some recording done. Maybe play some Schedule 1. And Rach, by the way, did you like how I handled those politics? Because that's what ancient politics were actually like. That's what ancient women were actually like when they were in power. Why are you talking to me about this, Amazing? I really appreciate that you liked it. I'm gonna make an effort to do that. Show you what's not right, so I can fix it. Because it's not right. It's a first draft. It's actually like a 7th draft. It's like the 3rd time. That was like the 3rd time I had finished it. From 4th time I finished it from start to finish, actually. But those previous drafts don't exist. Actually, I think one of them does. I think the original, I might know where the very original is. I think I might have that in my emails. I have another novel in my emails if you wanted me to read very old work. It's really good too, actually. Yeah, did you like that, Rach? I know your heart broke, but she confesses that she didn't wait for him, but she did wait for him. I imagine that you really liked the way he described her flaccid breasts for that scene. You thought it was bedtime? Not for me, man. Let me get something to eat. Sad for sure. Emotional landscaping. So fragile. Yeah. And when he smiled, how it actually tore the skin to push it back on his face. He'd been crying for so long. Did you catch that detail? I was proud of that detail when I read it back just now. I was like, ooh, that was good. His face tearing like dry parchment. Hey, Samuel, what's up? All right, well. And I thought you would like that song that I composed. By the way, Rach, that the song in the middle, I wrote that.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Now that she's out of here, I'm going to close up this stream and I'm going to open up something else. Thank you guys. Be well. And remember that I do this for free. And that if I didn't have to do this, I could be working on that.